You know, last time I was talking about raising my standards with a friend of mine, and I just, we talk and everything, and she said something that I didn't really expect, which was like, be beware of the consequences, something like this. And in French, it was something like, va falloir assumer, because when you start raising your standards, obviously not everyone will want to follow, not everyone will like, not everyone will support, because I think it's human, right? To just want to stay in comfort, to have the version of a friend or a family member or anybody actually that is that feels safe and which I can understand. And at the same time, I don't also understand because in my head it's like, well, raising standards means you want to improve, you want to become better, or even if it's not better, you want different, and different means that change is gonna happen, and I can imagine that change being reflected upon people is like, oula, no, I don't want change. Change is scary. Not everybody will, again, want to change, or not everybody will welcome the change. But then for me, outside of all of this, what struck me most is literally my own reaction, because I know raising your standards is definitely something that we all need to do, because you don't always want to stay in the same spot. You want to evolve, you want to grow, you want to go somewhere else, and there's no pressure in that. There's no bad thing in that. But the more we talked with my friend, the more in the back of my head what was coming out was, but I'm gonna disappoint people, and I'm gonna let people down, and not a lot of people will like me anymore, not a lot of people will accept me anymore, or will want to hang out, or how will I fucking belong? And this was the first thing that came to my mind, and I almost felt like, putain, mais meuf, like really? And at the same time I was like, but it's first of all, it's honest, and bah, c'est la vie. I felt it, I'm not gonna judge it. And at the same time I was also like, bah ouais, en fait, maybe this is a good thing that you want to be raising your standards, because you're gonna get out of this whole people pleasing, you're gonna get out of this whole prioritizing other people first, and you're finally gonna also honor your needs or own them. Sometimes honor for me is like too big of a word, but it's more like, oh, I'm listening, I'm finally listening, and I'm following also that desire. I'm not saying that raising my standards, I know exactly how I'm going to raise my standards, but there's this desire, there's this need that I really want to, and I need to anyways. So, and not to push my past version or my people or my friends or anything, but just because that's something that I feel, that's something that I need, and I'm just gonna listen to that. And for me, like, this is such a huge step. It continues to become another huge step in my own journey of being a human being. 2025 already showed me how much courage and resilience it can take to just leave everything behind. Some things I left, some things were taken away from me, and it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of strength, and I actually want to keep being in that path, not be dramatic and like, oh, fuck this shit, and I'm just leaving everything behind and ciao. And even if this was the case, to be honest, well, let it be, right? But it's more being on that path of choosing myself and choosing for myself, so this was such an interesting conversation. And when she said those words, which were, ouais, va falloir assumer, she said something like this, which literally means, like, there are going to be consequences. And I think that ultimately at the end of our conversation, I felt relief and I felt peace almost, because it's like, bah ouais, en fait, I'm listening to me. It's like pride, a sense of pride as well. Even if, as I said, raising my standards. What does it mean? I don't know yet. I'm still figuring it out, right? But I know that I want different, and I think I'm still on that path of this I don't want, this I don't want, and I'm again making more and more space for what it is that I want, right? And in the midst of that, because I feel like now, I've made this metaphor of decluttering my space, decluttering my home, my internal home, and I feel like now I'm just doing some interior designing, you know. Now it just feels like I think the home is almost empty, and it feels really nice because I feel like there's indeed a lot of space, a lot of light, and for me, space and light are just like synonyms of renewal, synonym of like, hey, start fresh, You can bless the house however you want. You can put the furniture however you want. You can also decide not to have any furniture, but at least whatever it is that you're gonna put. And I think for me it's important when we talk about furniture, aka beliefs, environments, coziness, whatever. It's important for me that I am the one choosing, that I am the one almost like building it. If I'm to put my table, I want my own table. I want to build my table. I want to have my own specific set of screws, of color, of material, and I want to do it. Even if it takes time, or even if it takes more time, then I know that whatever happens to this house, it's my house. It's unshakable, and nobody will take that away from me. So, voilà, that's a beautiful metaphor. I'm actually very proud of that metaphor, guys. So, if you decide to use it, don't forget to quote me. But anyways, if you are also in that, position of like wanting to raise your standards and to just want different for yourself, like really, truly listen to that. And if some people along the way are disappointed or don't understand, bah c'est la vie. I don't think we're meant to live this life being understood by everyone, but I think we're meant to live this life really close to who we are, always aligned with who we are, with what we stand for, with experimenting, and with really just doing it with play, no pressure, just really play.